Hello and welcome back to some more of Dwarf Fortress with me, the Green Dragon. I have just loaded up the game and I need to, of course, I might be a smidgen derpy while I figure out what I'm doing exactly, but I'll get back into it quickly enough, I'm sure. So right now we are digging out this and making this a thing. That is, I think, perfectly fine. Perfectly fine, really. Very much so. And you are smoothing that out, aren't you? I think I should smooth out this area actually. And mudstone it up. Possibly also the drowning chamber thing should be smooth at this point in time. There we go, there's our glorious mudstone blocks. Yeah. Just... alright, Alt M, let's switch that to the right thing. And I did in fact manage to spend at least something. This wall, no, this corner one, right? Because people keep moving through there. Yep, very much indeed. Well, I suppose that's a thing then, isn't it? Isn't it? Don't worry, we'll work our way through this and it's all gonna be great. These are all gold ones, aren't they? What about you? You're rose gold, which is slightly different. Give me the thing. That's mudstone blocks because we needed blocks for that. That's a smelter that's made out of rose gold. Because we couldn't make it out of ordinary gold. Okay, important question. How do we make that rose gold thing? Don't tell me here, will it? I think you use either copper or iron as part of the alloy. Could look it up. I'm not gonna. We do have... What the frack are you moving over there now? What? Oh, right, the arrowhead. That's right. Somble copper ballista bolt for our Baroness. Because she had a moment of nobility and decided that a mandate needed to be made. Right then and there. Now, all this just smooth it out. Ever so slightly, just smooths it. These though, diggity, and we'll make proper walls instead. Maybe a door to access the mine. In fact, do it like this. It's gonna be awesome. Honest. And that's pigtails being produced. Thread any material. Did I not change that to thread any cloth? Oh, right, I couldn't hear, and we do apparently have thread of any material. Where? We have 11 there, and we have some here. And even then, that's just mostly leather, right? And these don't count as thread. Unless there's a bunch in here. You know, I could just fix it by raising the limit. I mean, there is some thread there, admittedly, but even so... How about we go 2 to 300? And let's not buy any more... Oh right, there's all of this hair thread. And we still haven't moved everything open, have we? Or moved everything over, that is. That is a thing, and you are dragging a door to be molten down. I approve of this. Did set it up to prevent bullshit there, which is fine, and you are just making the silver cabinets. I think we ordered about half of them to be made of the amount we'll actually need. Down below, still not done. Still very much not done. Very soon we'll start placing... I mean, eventually they'll get done. There's just so much good stuff here to be had, and oh, they're being such idiots about it. Oh, that's just painful. That is just so very painful. I don't know how the sound levels are with this. Hopefully they're okay. What do you want now? Crowns. Now you want crowns. Okay, we have this place where we're making bone bolts. Crowns, no less. Masterpiece silver cabinet though. I do like that. Now obviously those guys down below, they're not gonna get gold, like ever, but they can certainly aspire to a certain amount of silvery goodness. And that's just the millery, or the mill rather. And that is great as well. Do only have the small 5-man group of smoothers slash... Is that whole thing the arrow? Does that fit into a single tile or is that a multi-tile item? That is a big ass thing though. Maybe I should build some ballistae for the clowns to play with. Oh, that's just a ducky. Ducky, no! Oh, that worried me. I thought it was a dwarf for a second. That would have been bad. But a duckies can die on occasion, that's fine. This does not have bins enabled, does it? Let's enable bins for that. That should speed things up in a way, hopefully. Or maybe not, depending on how things go. I mean, I have all of that set as a repeat thing, which will auto re-enable, so it should be a thing, right? There. All of the things. Anything else that I need to... I mean, collecting webs. We do have one of these open. Are there any webs here? Yes, there are. This could be a place where we harvest things, honestly. I mean, we go with pigtails for the most part, yes, but we could also go with a web-based clothing industry. That is definitely not out of the question, certainly doable. And that's blood. And that's stink. Why is there stink there? It's coming from above, below? Huh? Where's the stink coming from? Do have a lot of cobaltite here. Does this get treated as a vein? Yes, it does. I could start making stuff out of cobaltite at some point. Though... Okay, down below, what are these stones? That's gabbro. I could start using that. Actually, important question before we do that. How good are our people at stonecrafting? They are absolutely useless. Good to know. Good to know. I could mass produce stone goblets. This needs to be unsuspended. This needs to be removed. Stop removing zones, and this will be our sand zone. There we go. That will be where we gather the sand. The glorious zone of sand collecting. Oops. And that will look a lot nicer than, well, this. Which is why we're gonna just... Okay, tactical mistake on that. Because they will no doubt fuck it up in a way that prevents them from ever completing that one corner, so... You know. Best not give them the chance. Okay. So, double doors say there. Sorry, whoops. Yeah, like this. Oh, we're one short. Well, in that case... Like this. Go! Go, the construction of all constructions. And that's just bone bolts. You are happily practicing. Are you actually pewing? Just individual combat drill. Rusty Fisher Dwarf skill, which means he hasn't done it for a while, essentially. Skills do get rusty if you don't practice them. We have half of the silver cabinets done. A lot of this is just moving stuff upstairs, as in furniture, because we do make a lot of furniture. And that does take up a lot of time. Yes, it does. Doesn't it? You're just carrying that big ass arrow there. Yeah, you're just gonna place it somewhere. That's a big arrow. I am tempted to shoot some of these at the clowns. I really am. I have no idea how these work, but you know, what would it take to actually set up a ballista? What's the command even? Let's take a look, shall we? Blah 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 blah. Ooh, glass windows. Sweet. But no. Nothing here. Under traps, perhaps. Upright weapon. Huh. Pressure plate, which could be linked to stuff, I take it. What about machine components? Not here, right? Right. Okay. I think with those rails you can set up just flying minecarts somehow. Don't know how to do that. Then there's kennels. That's for war dogs, I think. Okay. List. Machine components, traps, levers, check that. Furnaces, not much point. Workshops, siege engines. Ballistae. 3 ballistae parts, eh? And right, I did order them to make armor next. So we will suspend all of these. Because we are about to start making iron crap. And lots of it. Aren't we? And meanwhile they are happily gathering all the bars and blocks and bars. Mostly bars. So much more smoothing and engraving needs to be done. It's kind of a thing. Okay, how are we on doors? We don't keep a steady supply of rock doors here, do we? That's kind of not our thing, is it? Is it? We could just start mass producing like stone statues. Then just place them in lines on the surface along the seashore. You know, dum-dum. That kind of thing. I wonder how many people got that reference. I really do. I wonder how weird I am. I mean, I am on the internet. Everyone is weird here, but even so. I do have to wonder on occasion just how weird I am. We will, for the foreseeable future, be still using up a lot of these. Wait, does someone else have masonry enabled? I don't think they do. Ooh, that's really good leatherworking though. That's really good leatherworking. And what is that? That's cheese making. Cheese making is probably useless to me. Okay, we have 2 squads defined, and these I kept as extra manpower, didn't I? How many of these do we have? 4, 5, 6, 7. You know, I'm gonna add 3 more furnace operators. Because the metal industry is our biggest thing. In fact, I'm gonna add even more than that. In order to ensure that the furnaces are never silent or quiet or whatever. The furnaces should always be on, essentially. At all times the furnaces should be on. Not all of them will have experience, and it will slow... I mean, ideally you want to make sure that someone is always working the workshop while at the same time that they're never doing other jobs where they could be doing furnaces, like... Okay, how to explain this? Like, you want to maximize your training potential, right? They should... As many people as possible should be training by using the furnaces, and the furnaces should be in constant use. That's the dream. Doesn't necessarily mean we'll get that, of course, but that's the dream. And we do have this extra furnace as well. So, I have 10 furnace guys, 7 furnaces. Or furnae. That... Alright, I did go up by 5, not by 3, so I have 12 and 7 furnaces. That should be about right for now. That should be about right. And these are, of course, things that will need to be floored properly, won't they? Meanwhile, you just work on those rock blocks. I think that's probably the best idea. We are not gonna have idlers ever again, are we? It's always gonna just be a constant backlog of crap. What about here? Yeah, our refuse stockpile is full of crap. What have we disabled here? Okay. Remains we got rid of. Rotten raw hide should go outside as well. Fresh should stay here. So, okay, hair wool, that. Do we want shells? We have a lot of bones up. We do get some shells from fishing, but we aren't really using them. Okay. Okay, whoops. That was a derp. So these are off. Skulls. God damn it. I keep pressing the wrong thing because I'm trying to do this the cool way by not looking at the keyboard. Okay, disable everything except bones, corpses and body parts there. And we'll enable all of that here and just carry it the fuck out. Mostly because we don't need it with this mass of crundle bones available to us. And we need to free up space in the meat locker. At least that's the dream. And we do have butchery going on. Scales, antlers, the like. Do have to wonder what those count as. But honestly, it's not that big a deal. It shouldn't matter, I think. And you're just making charcoal in your 2 charcoaleries. I think you should be able to keep up with the demand, other than the fact that we're running out of wood. Now we do have better wood downstairs. I think that is just more valuable. So why don't we actually let them burn up all of the wood here, and then we'll cut down some below as opposed to up here. And that will be a significantly better... Just checking the time, because I just remembered that as a derp that I am, I totally forgot to set the timer properly. Whoops! Who would have thunk that I might derp on something like this, huh? That's more sexy silver stuff. And that's you slowly, very slowly digging your way through that. It is true, I don't have any dedicated diggers, do I? Okay, okay. Do have butchery tannery on the farmers. They should eventually deal with the skeleton backlog. But, what was I thinking? about... Damn, total brain fart. I meant to do something and just alter my plans in some way to do something, and I just totally forgot. Why is that still suspended? Unsuspend it and see it done. Will you? What are you doing here? Just... Yeah, I don't think you're doing much of anything right now. Okay, wood guys, all of that. I know I meant to do something. I was looking at this and I was thinking, yes, they're working slowly, but what has that got to do with anything? And this needs to be removed. A total brain fart. Just 100% brain fart. So yeah, we have these four. They are butchery, tannery stuff. I almost remember they can't quite recall. What the frack did I mean to do with those? Meant to add to one of the groups that only had 2 people working them, didn't I? Think that was what I was thinking about. So which of those groups are boned? Which ones do I want to add to? Cause... yeah, I wanted to do bowyery. That's what I wanted to enable. Right. Just make some extra bows. That's what I wanted to do. There we go. That's better. Because we do have a bowyer's workshop. Why don't we make a few bone crossbows just so that we have a few extra shooty weapons. Just lying around as a backup thing. Yeah, I think I like this idea. And we still have silent furnaces on occasion. As you can well see. I mean, at least the potash thing is gonna keep going. You could always add those extra guys to the soap thing, maybe. Just to keep the, solidify the glass making, clear glass making supply chain. Eventually. And that's people just making iron breastplates. And silver cabinets, as the case may be. Which I do totally approve of. I do like me some silver cabinets. I do like those. Very nice indeed. Except when I melt them down. But can't have everything, can you? You always make those guys like farmers as well. Nothing is being cut or engraved. Okay. You know, there's all this freaking mudstone around. Yeah, none of the gives are set up, which is actually fine, I think. Okay. We do have a lot of mudstone around, especially down below. Why don't we just keep training their strength stat and have them work on that problem? I mean, we can just keep cutting it up and getting rid of it. So why wouldn't we? Let's just work the bloody mudstone. I mean, it's right there, and we can use it as practice for encrusting a bit later. And meanwhile, they will be getting rid of useless items. You are gonna stay on the bone bolts thing, because that's just gonna be a thing. Not sure they are pewing. Okay. Why is this? Right, this gets treated as a barracks. But why no shooty? Unless they are. Are they though? I can't figure it out whether they are or aren't shooting at things there. I mean, okay, military. Ammunition. The Mosses of Dye, they have no ammunition, but these do. Right, so they can have as much as 100 bolts. Okay, let's explicitly say they're bone bolts and they are for training purposes. Okay? It's weird that I still have war up here. Eventually I think we'll work our way through that and get rid of it. Eventually. Turns out I could just store my gold up here. Just make a couple of stockpiles, fill them with gold. Make it cute that way. You're just smelting silver. Because we are able to go through ore so fast. And 4 furnaces aren't necessarily going to be able to keep up. And I think it's what, summer now? Yeah, we are at the pop limit, so right now this is the fort we're gonna have, unless we have a lot of deaths, in which case more people will arrive. I don't think that the idea of drowning the children so I can get a few extra people hasn't occurred to me. It has, I just decided not to do it just yet. Cause reasons, really. And this is slowly going along. Yeah, this will just be our melty furnace close to the surface so I can actually melt stuff. Could always melt some of the steel anvils. Eventually. Anyway. This looks ugly as all fuck, I have to say. It really does. Why don't we look into... I mean, surely some blocks have been built by now. Why don't we... Oh yeah. Yes, they have. So, up to here. Whoops. And then like this. And... like this. They should be able to access it because they'll be able to go around. And then, just opposite the bridge, we're gonna have a little entrance to an actual place. It's gonna be great. Meanwhile, here we're gonna have ourselves a little mudstone block flooring. As we will here. To prevent bullshit. Meanwhile, here, well, self-explanatory really. We're gonna just... for the most part be completing the pattern. Here, on the road through the drowning chamber. There we go. Yours consider building a relatively high priority, so please tell me you're not gonna be too derp about this. As in running up and down levels. Hopefully they won't. Once this exploration mineshaft gets finished, I mean, we did find a lot of silver below, so it did do its thing. You're happily processing plants, which is great. I really approve of that. That's just a random quiver, that sounds great. And you are just, in theory, cutting all the mudstone. In practice not so much, but in theory you are. Let's see, have you made any bone crossbows yet? Well, you have made at least 3 or 4, judging from the experience you've gotten. So that's good. What have you got there? Stray baby alpaca bone, and alpaca bone crossbows. Sweet. Extra weapons. Oh yeah, extra weapons. And meanwhile they're all trying to pick out the very best. Why are these so crappy? You have skill. Do I have like a shitty armor enabled? No, I don't. So why do these suck? You have like 10 levels of skill. Shit. God's that. Right, you don't really count. You're the manager. Aren't you? Wow, those furnaces aren't nearly as active as I would like them to be. Or maybe they're just putting down the crappy ones, right? Because they keep changing them, right? They pick out a better one and leave their old crappy one here. So, yeah. Right now it's just them picking out the very best one that is available at the moment. So I suppose that makes a certain amount of perverse sense. Alright, time check. Wow, okay. Thank you all for watching, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys in the next episode, so see you then.